Hello, this is Ashley Applegate, and welcome to part 1 of our 6-part series for plasma cutting. Plasma cutting machines vary in size, cost, and duty cycle and amperage. This particular model is an 85 amp machine capable of cutting material over 1 inch thick. The machine configurations are normally fairly simple. This one has a dial on the front. This dial is going to let us cut continuous cuts. It's going to be a different setting if we want to cut something like wire mesh, so it's on and off, on and off. And then a third setting if we actually want to use the plasma to make a gouge to repair a weld or repair a crack of some sort. The controls on the front of the machine just adjust the amperage. You want to use the lowest amperage possible to make good quality cuts that are efficient in speed. The plasma cutter is more efficient and faster than a typical oxy fuel, and it's more economical to use once you get your equipment purchased. The cables that go into the front, in the large port, we would have our control cable with our torch, and in the smaller port, we're going to have our ground cable. Those ground cables aren't normally as heavy as your stick welding or arc gouging process, so it's a smaller lead. So now we're going to flip the machine around to the back, and we're going to look at the air requirement. So looking at the back end of the machine, we have a port where we can plug an air hose from a common everyday type of air compressor. The amount of air required is going to vary depending on your particular model plasma cutter. The vast majority of plasma cutters have a regulator built in that controls that flow of air, but if your model plasma cutter does not, then you may need an external regulator on your compressor or on your plasma cutter. In addition, there is a water separating filter built on this machine at the rear. If there is ever evidence of any water, you'll hear a loud hissing sound, and it is very detrimental to your consumables. This water separator may or may not be needing cleaned. According to your manufacturer's recommendations, some are self-cleaning. The power consumption of this particular machine is 3-phase. So this 85 amp machine is going to consume a vast majority of power. However, plasma cutting machines can be used with 110, so they would plug directly into a normal wall socket. Some plasma cutting machines have their own built-in small air compressors, so you don't have to drag that second hose around. So thanks for watching part 1 of our 6-part series on plasma cutting. Please stay tuned for our next video in this series. In part 2, we're going to talk about the torch, take a close look at the torch, disassemble that torch, and talk about the consumables and what really makes plasma cutting work.